you jumped in like I did, but it was a steep learning curve. I'm still learning, but enough that I'm confident I can give you some basics to help you get started. Let's see. We're gonna jump right in on our Ground Zero server. Now we're gonna give you a new character, just take you through everything. Alright. First thing you notice is that your age, well, let's get to your appearance first. It's the first thing I did. Head type, of course, there's 4. And the head type, as of now, determines the color of your skin also, it seems. Now, what I did, I wanted to see what tattoos there are. Now, in essence, you think I look badass, but because of the curved little... I actually think it looks kind of dorky, but hey. Notice his eyes. Follow the cursor. You see that? So while you're over here, he's wondering, like, what the fuck are you doing? Alright, that's pretty cool. Anyway, 4 tattoo styles, which are all pretty cool. Now, choose what you like, obviously. However, I chose this first one because I think the skeleton and the death mask thing look cool as hell. Now, I choose the tattoo first before I choose the head type. So I know how the tattoo is going to look on the head. Which head is better? Rather than go tattoo 2. It's pretty easy. Looks like a dork, doesn't he? Wouldn't want to face him in prison though. He looks pretty intense. Kind of wide-eyed. Like, what the fuck? Alright. I went with this one. Mainly because the darkness around the eyes. And the black on the mouth. Most times, eventually you're going to have a hat or a helmet on, so that'll be covered. But you might have a balaclava on, and your eyes will be taken care of nice and black because of this. It doesn't really help in the grand scheme of things, but for me, I think it does. Alright, let's get to these stats. First of all, they got this little triangle. The fatter you are, the higher your intelligence. Also, the weaker your constitution. It makes sense, right? He's a big fat dude, so he's incredibly strong. 5's your max. And he's also incredibly fat. I guess it's kind of stereotyping. They remove those Nazi tattoos, right? Or Nazi-related tattoos on... or whatever the fucking shit was that they had a controversy on. But... which are common in prison, right? Especially if you're going with scum. But, they'll let fat people be you have to be fat to be intelligent, and you have to be muscular to have the lowest intelligence. I mean, fat, lower constitution, I'm with you there, okay? And extremely thin, even though his head stays the same size. Lower strength, okay, I'm with you. But the whole fat makes you intelligent, I just don't know about that. Okay, I don't know. So anyway, the skills, you can click next without any repercussions. Dex is advanced, right? So a 3 of Dex gives me 6 points. It's a multiplier of 2, you see that? You know, 5 becomes 10, everything's times 2. A 6 Dex gives me advanced stealth. That's all Dex is good for right now, so I take max. I want to make sure my Dex is 3 and no higher than 3, because anything higher is wasted. Because you can't choose any other skills. So let's go with a 3 Dex. Keep that maxed. Now 5 Strength, what can we get? If I advance anything to advanced, then the most I can get is, I guess, above medium for anything else. Alright? They all take the same amount. And as you move the slider, you can see the point, it says available for distribution. Alright? So every one of these ticks is a point, it looks like. There's a tick. There's a tick. Actually 2. There's 1 tick. There's 2 ticks. Okay. So it's just like Dungeons and Dragons or something. If you play those. Right? If you get your strength to, like, what was it? 9, you had a +1 damage bonus. But then to get it to 16, it was exponentially more. It was like you had to spend 1 point per to get it to 9 of your character points, and then you had to spend 2 per, and then 3 per. You know, just to keep raising it. So it increases. You only have to spend 1 point to get the basic, but to get the medium, you got to spend 2, and to get to advanced, I guess it's 3. See that? Okay. So if we have a strength of 5, which, by the way, alright, I lower my stuff. 5 is the max you can get. Alright, so if 5 is the max, let's see what 5 in strength gets us. I've found that it can get you 2 mediums. Alright, plus a little extra. Alright. Now, here's something to consider. I started out originally with boxing up here and melee weapons because I figured melee, it was going to be a survival game. I kind of like 7 Days to Die, where I gotta raise my skills and blah blah. So everything's gonna start out basic. So you're gonna have like stone clubs or wood clubs, you know, the wood age before the stone age, I guess. You know, maybe it was a fucking spear, you know, fires, tents, you know, cook your meat, just like in Rust, just like 7 Days to Die, all these basic survival games. But I found that like Rust, you can just find a AK, in this game it's AK-47s like in, and MP5s like in 7 Days to Die. It's not an M16 like in Rust. But I can find an AK-47 and just start shooting. No biggie. And I found that if you have like a no skill or basic in rifles, I couldn't craft the ammo. And I heard that people that start out with like a medium in the skill can craft the ammo. So if you don't have the requisite skill, you can't craft the ammo, and you have to loot everything, all the ammo that you want to fire, which I don't like. They have like scrap metal in the game you use to make your ammo, or you can use it to make like a metal tip spear or something like that. I didn't like having to be able to work on this. I can create wood spears all day. I can create shelters, cut down trees, and I can use baseball bats and box all day. I'm not worried about that. I'll be doing a ton of that. So I'll raise my skills doing that. The only way to raise your rifles and handguns are to use them and get kills. That's going to be the hardest thing to do. So I want to be able to make ammo to do that. Alright, I want to be ahead of the curve right off the bat. Alright, anyway, enough of that. So that's why I went with 5 strength. Intel. Let's see, what did I go with? No, I want my Intel maxed. I'm one of those guys. I believe intelligence is key to everything. Now at age 20, I have a +2 dex modifier. 1 is the lowest you can go. So that makes your dex 3 max or minimum. But because I wanted 6 to get stealth, I'll fine with that. I want medium for these because of the ammo, I believe. So Constitution is going to be sacrificed. Now running, it just means, I guess, running endurance. I won't be able to sprint as far, which means I got to be more aware of what's going on in my surroundings for bears and zombies and stuff. Okay. So awareness, I don't know if it does anything. I think maybe it helps you tracking. I put this advanced immediately, just because I'm a believer in being highly intelligent and highly aware of what's going on. Right? You want to be aware of your surroundings in a fucking survival game. Hell, in life you want to be aware. So you can get hit by a truck crossing the road, right? Sniping, I wasn't really sure what it did, but I figured I always start that with medium. Camouflage, again, I don't know what it does, but I don't know. I figure camouflage in this game means I'll be taking cover in trees which provide camouflage, or wearing tactical clothing. I don't know if it means I can go invisible like the fucking Predator. I don't know. Survival, I'm assuming it means like the stuff you can create. Again, I'm not sure, but I figured mediums, if I went like max awareness, then these would all suffer. I figure medium and all these at a basic survival, I'm good. That's why I went with those stats. I wanted a lot of intelligence, and I wanted high weapons. Right? I'll work on my boxing and my melee weapons and all this stuff as I go. Right? Archery, you can see the stuff. Unfortunately, I throw a lot of spears, but that doesn't get you shit right now. Right? So you can use, well, we'll get into using spears. And then create. Now obviously I was right, you see that? Croatia, you'll see Croatian jerseys, Mediterranean influence in the game. Doesn't really mean anything. And these stats don't really line up. You see how those are all 0%? I don't know why, but they say 0 even though the half moon, quarter moon, those all, what do you call those things? Circle graphs? I don't remember. Anyway. Alright, so now we're entering the server, jumping right into multiplayer. You see his eyes look to the side and follow the cursor, like, what the